with Tao. Can an unenlightened person live in total insecurity? Someone asked, can an unenlightened person live in total insecurity, not being anxious, depressed, and miserable? It can happen. Total insecurity and capability to live in a state of insecurity without anxiety, depression, and any kind of misery is, my dear friend, synonymous with enlightenment. Living a life of total insecurity, no anxiety, no depression, no misery of any kind, beyond duality, a life of bliss is, my love, my friend, synonymous with enlightenment. When you were not enlightened, you could not understand how Tao could live with no anxiety, no depression, no misery, just life of total bliss. Total insecurity and the capability to live in it is synonymous with enlightenment. The moment this happened to you, the enlightenment happens to you, happens to one, or to one whom it has happened, will know what I am saying. No anxiety, no depression, no misery, just a life of bliss surrounds. Therefore, remember, one who is not enlightened cannot live in total insecurity, and one who cannot live in total insecurity cannot become enlightened. Both are synonymous. They are not two things. They are just two ways of saying the same thing. Enlightenment means the drop has merged into the ocean. The individual ego has merged with the cosmic presence, and then the ocean has become a drop. You are no more an individual, although you exist as individual, but your consciousness is cosmic. Because you have a feminine body, you are cosmic embodiment of feminine energy, and you complement your eternal beloved who is the physical embodiment, like the electrodes of the battery. The battery, the positive pole and the negative pole. You are the positive pole of that cosmic battery, and your spouse is the cosmic masculine or male pole of that energy. And when both of you interact, there is illumination. The entire world of objects and beings comes into play. This is what Shiva's play is. These are not two things, they are two ways of saying the same thing. So do not wait until you have become enlightened to live in insecurity. When I say in response to the people how things are, I do not know. Each moment comes as a new moment, as a moment of great surprise to me, as a moment with infinite possibilities. As a human being, you accept some and reject the others. I accept every possibility, everything that this moment brings for me. I welcome every moment, whatever it brings with it, with total acceptance and a gratefulness. It has come from my beloved. So do not wait until you become enlightened. Learn to live in insecurity, accepting whatsoever this moment brings for you, with total gratitude, acceptance. The moment insecurity means accepting whatsoever this particular moment brings with it. Whatsoever, we learn this from plants, trees. They have to go through the various seasons in order for sustenance. It moves in a circular motion. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. Each is characterized by certain characteristics. The tree accepts all and has learned to live joyfully with every season that existence brings with it. Have you ever seen a tree lamenting when the season of spring comes, when season of autumn comes, when winter comes, it goes into hibernation. When spring comes, every cell of the tree rejoices naturally. It is its way of life. Tree is enlightened, but unaware of its enlightenment. An awakened one is enlightened and is aware of it, and he accepts everything with total awareness. From the early age, in the process of my spiritual development, a transformation, a couplet from my uncle that has been my beacon light. That's the way of life. शायद खिज़ां से हो कोई नई सूरत बहार की, कुछ मसलहत इसी में है मेरे परवरदिगार की. May autumn bring a new portrayal to the tree. Tree knows what you do not know. When things do not go your way, you are anxieties breeds into, depression and misery comes into your life. That time remember, may the autumn bring a new portrayal to the tree. What is the wish of my beloved? I know it not. What is the wish of my beloved? I know it not. This is the secret, how to learn to live in insecurity. And when you learn to live in insecurity, enlightenment naturally happens. This is the way. Enlightenment is not something, any kind of degree that you get. It is the way trees live. Enlightenment is the way of living in total acceptability and gratitude. Living in total acceptability and gratitude. What does tree do? They live in total acceptance and gratitude unknowingly. They have not developed that cognition in them. But you have the capabilities to develop that cognition, to live with that cognition. But out of ignorance, you do not live by that understanding. You do not live by that understanding. The moment you accept everything, whatsoever comes your way, with gratitude, how can there be anxiety? How can there be depression? How can there be misery? Because everything is coming from one source. One. You talk about one. Everything is a totality of one. And that oneness, that one is what we know as existence. And oneness is the quality of that one. And to live by this understanding of oneness is the way of spirituality. To live by the light of that oneness is the way of living a spiritual life. Total insecurity and the capability to live in it are synonymous with enlightenment. So one who is not enlightened still can learn to live in insecurity. And one who cannot live in insecurity cannot become enlightened. Not two things, but two ways of saying the same thing. So don't wait until you have become enlightened to live in insecurity. Be like a tree. Accept all the four seasons, major seasons and the minor seasons. When during winter, when a storm comes in, when during the winter suddenly a storm comes in, a snowstorm or thunder, the tree remains unshaken. Tree does not go inside the room, shut down the window, close down all the windows, pull up the blinds. No, it remains amidst the hailstorms, the every turmoil that comes its way, sent its way. It does not cover itself with a canopy to protect itself from hailstorms. It has developed its own capability and characteristics so that no stays on the tree. No snow during winter time affects the tree. Tree is in deep meditative state of hibernation, a deep hibernation. And the deep meditative state is so intense that it becomes unaware of the hailstorms, strong winds. May spring bring a new portrayal to the spring. Let this be the way of your life, be the way of your understanding. Start living in insecurity. That is the way towards enlightenment. And don't think about total insecurity. Start from where you are. Start from where you are. You are living a life. You have disturbances, difference of opinion with your spouse. Start from there. Learn to accept this disturbance, this difference of opinions. Do not think about total insecurity. What will happen? A tree never bothers. Start from where you are. As you are, you cannot be total in anything. An epitaph on a grave read, "Look at me, O passers-by. As you are now, I was ever. As I am now, you will be." So think through it. But one has to make somewhere a start. In the beginning, it will create anxiety. In the beginning, it will bring misery in you. But only in the beginning. As you pass the initial stage of the beginning, if you can tolerate the beginning, the misery will disappear, the anxiety will disappear. And what will happen, you cannot imagine that how did it happen. We are never ready to start a beginning in a race. The beginning is very important. Beginning you have to do, the end happens. The finish happens on its own. You have to only focus on a healthy, a smart beginning, opening. Rest happens on its own. If you have a delayed beginning or faulty beginning, then you cannot succeed. This mechanism has to be understood. Only in the beginning there will be misery. If you can pass through the beginning, you can tolerate the beginning, the misery will disappear, the anxiety will disappear. This is the mechanism. This is how this has to be understood. And this is the spiritual life. This is the way of Buddhas. The mechanism to start, to begin. In the beginning there is misery, there is problems, there is disturbance. Once you pass through, you had a successful, unaffected beginning. Anxiety will disappear, misery will disappear, disturbance will disappear. The mechanism, this mechanism has to be understood. This mechanism you have to understand. Why do you feel misery? Why do you feel insecurity in a particular relationship? Why do you feel miserable in the company of someone? Enough for now. Take care.